Back in my teenage years, I encountered this recurring pattern in my life, where whenever I found myself in a group of people, I realized that other people were not respecting me as much as they respected some of my friends. They were not making eye contact with me as much, they were not touching me in friendly ways, or even asking me questions, behaviors they were showing around friends of mine. So I really didn't understand for a long time why do they get this reaction of people and I don't. I'm unable to do it. So I became obsessive about it. I started researching ways of becoming more charismatic and looking more confident because I thought that was the cause. And I started implementing them in my life. Then I even tried to copy other people and analyze their behavior, try to apply it for me in the hopes that I will also get the same reaction from people. But it didn't work. None of it worked. Looking back now, I don't blame anyone but me. Because I was the type of person that was just changing his personality from time to time in accordance to the personality of the TV show character he liked. And besides that, I wasn't making eye contact with people either. So I wasn't giving people the things that I wanted them to give me. So of course they weren't showing them to me in the first place. To be completely honest, if you clicked on this video, you don't look insecure. You are insecure. And that's a big and deep issue that most people are not ready to face yet. You can always go back to your habits of scrolling and of finding videos like top 5 ways of becoming more charismatic, like I used to do. But maybe it's just time for a change, for a real change. Now, I could give you dozens of social mistakes and of faulty social behaviors you're doing, like lack of eye contact, poor body language, putting people on a pedestal, talking too fast or too slow. I could even give you the quick fixes for all of these. And maybe you could even find better creators that describe them better. But I want to give you something far more valuable. I want to open your eyes to the truth that led to my progress, and to the truth that will lead to your progress. It's the root of everything, and it's the lack of self-esteem and the detrimental beliefs. Imagine you're walking into a library and you are only focused on the books. The books are your social flaws, your social mistakes, if you will. But you are unable to focus and to comprehend the thing that encapsulates everything, which is the library. The library is the root of it all, the lack of self-esteem and the detrimental beliefs. Truthfully, there are plenty of books or of flaws to see and to fix. And you could work on them individually, you could start approaching them properly on the right way, not using those shallow tactics you see online. But why work on them individually, when you could actually put in the work to the root, the one thing that solves everything else as well? So how do you engage in this process exactly? It requires you to do a lot of introspection. Basically, you have to update your belief system completely, to make realizations about yourself and the world, and rewire your brain. It's easier said than done. But then again, you could always go back to your previous habits. You could always go back to the top 5 ways of becoming more charismatic. But what are they going to do, even if you implement them to perfection? They are always going to push you away from your authentic self. And then you create this persona that acts properly and has the perfect charismatic behavior, and you always have to live up to that persona instead of just being you. Because the goal of everything, the goal of this work, is to become authentic, to find your authentic self and put it out there where it belongs. Because the truth is, your authentic self does not make any social mistakes. Your authentic self does not experience social anxiety. The authentic version of you creates the best friendships and has no anxiety whatsoever, because when you step into that mode, all insecurities fade away. Because you are so grounded and so confident into who you really are that you are unmovable. In such situations, you don't even think about the possibility of other people rejecting you. It's not a debate of do they reject me or do they accept me. It's not even crossing your mind. Now I could give you some of the realizations I made for myself and would be applicable for your situation most likely, but they wouldn't click for you. That's the issue. You have to make those realizations for yourself. The first time I heard about this concept, logically I understood it and accepted it. But I was sure that it cannot be completely applied to my current life situation because I'm just different, right? It doesn't work like that. And I was right, because for that version of me and for this version of you, the versions that are overwhelmed by social anxiety, for them it's impossible to reach a state of authenticity. And as much as I tried for a while, I just couldn't do it, because I was too attached to my social anxiety. The only way was to let go of it and basically to completely destroy the previous self image, the detrimental self image and belief system I had. My previous belief system did not serve me whatsoever, it did me a lot more harm than good. And it's probably the same for you, so ask yourself, how is your belief system serving you right now? Why do you think being more vulnerable will kill you? And that's not a rhetorical question, it's a real question, a deep one. Because if you are a socially anxious, insecure person, you don't actually suffer from social anxiety. You use social anxiety in order to avoid the far worse fate than this, which is being exposed and vulnerable. The possibility of vulnerability, the possibility of other people laughing at you, at who you really are, that's completely unacceptable. So social anxiety becomes a tool that's used to keep yourself from such dangers. But is that betrayal worth doing, betraying who you really are in the hope of being socially accepted? Maybe it's just time to let go of this. Maybe it's time to start relaxing into who you really are. But then again, this is a realization you have to make for yourself. There is a lot to acknowledge about your inner world, and I really hope this video can serve as a stepping stone in your pursuit of authenticity. And if you feel like you need more assistance, I have a link down below and you can book a meeting with me and I will do my best to guide you in your journey.